breathe slowly and in your belly and let your breath, which is spirit. That's what breath is. It's life. It's the first thing that happens when you come into the world, and it's the last thing that goes when you leave this plane. So breathe. Let that breath carry the life force into you. Let that breath breathe in new life, new energy, new love, new invigoration, new hope, that whatever is budding in you, whatever that seed is, let it now be given life to come to surface. In today's busy world, how can we find the inspiration, knowledge, and energy to live a healthy and empowered life? If we balance and harmonize our mind, exercise our body, live according to the laws of nature, and connect to spirit, can we find a way to heal, become our authentic self, and live our purpose with love? I am your hostess, Amy Fournier, and welcome back to Awakening Aphrodite. Yum, yum, yum. I'm just finishing one of my Paleo Valley turkey sticks. I love these things so much. I keep them with me all the time, and I recording this quick Fast Friday for you as promised, and didn't have time to grab something to eat beforehand, so I'm just sharing with you that I actually leave a Paleo Valley beef stick in my desk drawer all the time, just for times like this, so I don't become hangry. All right, so today is a Fast Friday, and I want to share with you from the book called The Book of Awakening, Having the Life You Want and Being Present to the Life You Have, with Mark Nepo. He's a New York Times bestseller. He's been on Oprah probably, I don't know, once or at least once, maybe twice. He's kind of an amazing guy, and this is a great book. So I wanted to share with you this really cool passage on the courage of the seed. So this starts with just a little poem here, and it says, all the buried seeds crack open in the dark the instant they surrender to a process they can't see. You know, that just really struck me because so much of who we are and things we want are dormant inside us, or, you know, some of our insecurities, or, you know, depression or sadness or low self-esteem. We think like, well, that's great for someone else, but that's not me, or I don't have it in me, or I don't have what it takes, or, you know, insert your issue, right? And I just thought this was a really beautiful way to think of yourself, not only in a more gentle, compassionate, nurturing, encouraging way, but also to think of the qualities in you that you want to cultivate in your life as, well, yeah, maybe they're not overtly being expressed at the moment, but what if you thought of them as just seeds inside you? It's the seed. It has everything that it needs to grow inside it already. And it's not that it's not there. It's just that it's dormant. It's buried at the moment. And notice that the poem says it's buried in the dark. So it's the time to go within, right? It's our feminine lunar energy. The dark is the time for introspection, the time of the dark moon, the new moon. If you want to know more about the moon, check out my podcast on that, by the way. It's really interesting. We can't always be bright and shiny like the full moon. It's not the way nature works. But that seed is buried in the dark inside of you. And it mentions that the instant you surrender to the process that you can't see is when that seed will start to germinate. So again, key word, surrender. You've probably heard it a lot. I know it's kind of a hot word right now. What does that even mean? And I've always wondered, what's the difference between being passive and apathetic and giving up? Like, oh, what's the point, right? And surrendering. Totally different energy, different vibe, different intention. It's more like floating down the river as opposed to letting yourself drown. You know, surrendering is like floating, like you're just going with it, but you're not giving up. You're just not fighting it, you know? That's the way I look at it. And then to a process we can't see. This is huge, 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 huge. If you subscribe to the show, you probably have heard a million times that I am like waiting and so excited looking to find my dream home, which I haven't found yet after 3 years of looking every single day. But I have to surrender to this process that I can't see, that this is going to happen. I have to keep hope. I have to keep faith and not give up. And That's hard to do, right? It's hard to do when you're not seeing progress or like signs of hope, having hope anyway. But that's what hope is. That's what faith is, believing in things that aren't there. So Mark shares with us that this poem I just read, and I'll just read it for you real quickly again, just to refresh your memory so you don't have to rewind. All the buried seeds crack open in the dark the instant they surrender to a process they can't see. And what Mark shares is what a powerful lesson is the beginning of spring. All around us, everything small and buried surrenders to a process that none of the buried parts can see. And this innate surrender allows everything edible and fragrant to break ground into life of light that we call spring. In nature, we are quietly given countless models of how to give ourselves over to what appears dark and hopeless, but which ultimately is an awakening that is beyond all imagining. This moving through the dark into blossom is the threshold to God. As a seed buried in the earth cannot imagine itself as an orchid or another type of flower, neither can a heart packed with hurt imagine itself loved or at peace. So true, isn't it? When you're in that dark pit, sometimes you can't find a way out. And that's really what depression is you think, there's no solution, that yesterday's going to be, or tomorrow's going to be like yesterday. The courage of the seed is that once cracking, it cracks all the way. I love that. Do you ever think of a seed as courageous? How about that to wrap your brain around? It's courageous to break through that shell. That's why it's called growing pains, right? So the courage of the seed is that once cracking, it cracks all the way. So once it starts, boom, there it goes, right? Game on. I love that. I find this very inspiring. And, another thing to remember is we all go through the ups and downs. Emotions are a normal part of life. We can't always only want and be clinging for the happy, the positive emotions. It's just not natural. It's not part of the cycle of life. And what we consider to be the sad or dark emotions are very important communications from our souls about our needs and things that are deep inside us. And maybe things that need our attention that we're not paying attention to. Your soul will keep talking until you listen to it. So the dark emotions, the quote-unquote bad emotions, I've found are really learning opportunities to be more conscious, more aware of something is not right with your soul. You don't have harmony and coherence inside. So, just to wrap this up, Mark suggests a walking meditation. Find and watch some buds barely breaking the ground, so some, type of flowers or vegetation, and then meditate on their unseen beginnings underground. It's like, the duck on the pond, right? The feet are going like crazy, but you can't tell from the surface because they're pretty calm on the top. Well, you better believe under that soil, that little seed is doing all it can. It muster up the energy to start breaking through to the world. And then lastly, he suggests to breathe slowly and let your breath draw whatever's budding in you to the surface of your life. Aho, great spirit. Don't you love it? Yes. Breathe slowly and in your belly and let your breath, which is spirit. That's what breath is. It's life. It's the first thing that happens when you come into the world, and it's the last thing that goes when you leave this plane. So breathe, let that breath carry the life force into you, particularly if you're in a bad place right now. Let that breath breathe in new life, new energy, new love, new invigoration, new hope, that whatever is budding in you, whatever that seed is, let it now be given life to come to surface. And I really hope this helps you. I love sharing the Fast Fridays with you. Look for more of them. We try to get them out every other week as a little bonus episode for you. Remember, the regular shows come out Tuesday mornings, first thing. And if you want to support me, the best way to do so is leave a review. I'm always surprised to hear that people find when they say, oh, I love your show, how can I help? And I say, leave a review. And they go, oh, I never thought of that. It's like, no, it really helps you guys. I'm telling you, it only takes a minute. At Spotify, it's the top of the page. You just go to the menu and then go rate the show. On Apple iTunes, you scroll down on the main page to the mid to bottom part. You'll see the stars, and it has right in it a little line you can click on that says write a review. And it means the world to me. It really helps the show. So thank you so much. I can't wait to be with you again. And go ahead and breathe life into the seeds budding in you. Don't you give up hope. Would you like to support my mission to help empower people all over the world to be all of who they truly are? If so, please subscribe to the show, leave a review on iTunes, and share it with a friend. And if you're looking to take immediate action to align your energy and optimize your health, visit amyfournier.com. Thanks for listening to Awakening Aphrodite. Let's awaken her together in you. I'm your hostess, Amy Fournier, and I already can't wait to be with you again and for you to hear what I have planned for the next show.
Thanks for listening to Awakening Aphrodite with Amy Fournier. To learn more about Amy, check out her website, amyfournier.com. That's amyfournier.com. You can also check out Amy's live and on-demand virtual fitness and yoga classes, and sign up for her newsletter to receive a free mini ebook of 3 of her top tips for making holistic health a lifestyle. Again, that's amyfournier.com, and get your ebook sent to your email immediately. Connect with Amy on the daily on Instagram at FitAmyTV, FITAMYTV, and watch many of the podcast episodes and subtopic clips on her YouTube channel, which is also FitAmyTV. Enjoy, and we'll see you next time on Awakening Aphrodite.